creating that space also allows you for that self-love and the self-care and the self-respect. And you really truly start to romanticize your life. And when you start to do these little things, at least for me, when I started to do these little things, hello, welcome to Authentically Aligned, a wellness podcast where we speak on all things wellness, from fitness and nutrition to meditation and mindfulness, healing, growth, self-help, and so much more. If you are a new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for your love and support. And I want you to know that I'm sending you that same love and support right back. Today, I want to talk about something that is really important to me. It's a practice that changed my entire life, and I know that it can change yours too. So the topic of today's discussion is romanticize the shit out of your life. And what I mean by this is we are so used to, or we think that romance comes from somebody else, somewhere else, another entity. But when you learn to romanticize and add romance to your own life, when you show yourself romance and when you bring romance into your own life, your life completely changes. It turns around. And I think that it really truly is just another form of self-love, but it is the essence of embodying self-love. It is bringing self-love to life in all of the things that you do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. So romanticizing your life it changed my life because I think that a lot of times we're always waiting for the perfect moment, right? So you're waiting for the perfect moment to wear the new outfit that you just bought. You're waiting for the perfect moment to get dressed up, to do your hair, to do your makeup. You're waiting for somebody else to maybe cook a nice meal at home because, oh, it's just me. Like, why would I cook by myself? Why would I do that? Why would I take the extra time to make my plate look nice if I'm just going to be eating it, right? If I'm the only one that sees it, why does it matter? And that's the reason it matters, is because you're the only one that sees it. So if you are not intentionally putting love into everything that you do, then you're losing the romance in your life and you're letting that slip you by. And I get it, because a lot of times we're like, oh, I want to wait for this, or I want to wait for this, or I want to save the nice glasses for this, or I want to save this for this, or I want to save this nice, I don't know, face mask, whatever it is. But why? Like, the time is now. So the time is now to do all of these things, whether it's cooking for yourself, whether it's curating a beautifully plated meal, or whether it's getting dressed up, doing your hair, doing your makeup, and taking yourself to dinner. When I started romanticizing my life, I really changed my mood and my frequency. My frequency automatically raised because the things around me, their frequency raised. We may not know it, we may not understand it, but objects carry frequencies. The things around us carry frequencies. The food that we eat, everything that we consume, everything that we look at, and which is a form of consumption, carries a frequency. And when you start to add high frequency things to your life, to your space, to your everyday, then again, your frequency raises. But if you're pouring love into the things around you, the objects, the food, whatever, then they're vibrating on the frequency of love. You're vibrating on the frequency of love. And you're experiencing the reciprocity of love between yourself and yourself only. And that is so beautiful, because I think when you learn to do that, you can be anywhere. You could be by yourself, you could be with people. It doesn't really matter. You could be anywhere at any time doing anything, and you're going to experience the true essence of love. So some things that I started to do that have allowed me to romanticize my life. This is really funny because I love cooking. And I didn't realize how much I loved cooking. I always enjoyed baking. Like growing up, I always was a baker, but I never really realized how much I enjoyed cooking until I started doing it, until I started curating dishes that maybe I had tried somewhere else and I wanted to learn to make it at home, or even just being adventurous and exploring and having never eaten something. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and make that. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but I'm going to try. And when I started doing this, it allowed me the creativity. I am such a creative person, and I found it to be just another creative outlet. So I started cooking. I started really enjoying it. I started pouring my love into it because I was like, oh my gosh, if I add this, it's going to taste like this. Or if I add this, it's going to taste like this. And really starting to get excited about that. But then I'm creating these dishes that maybe I've had out at a restaurant. And if I were to be out at a restaurant, like what would it look like on the plate when it comes to me? When it's presented in front of me, what is it going to look like? Is it going to look like a slop of pasta like thrown on a plate? No, it's going to be beautifully presented. And so I started romanticizing my food, being so grateful and pouring so much love into the food that I eat, because if I'm pouring love into this and then it's pouring into me, I am receiving the love that I give to this food. So I started really plating my food in a way that is beautiful and presentable to me. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know that I will post my food. I will post food when I'm out, but I will also post the food that I make because it's something that I'm proud of, something that I have poured my love into, and it's a creation of mine. So the other day I posted something. It was a dish that I had made, or a dinner that I had made. I don't even remember what it was. And I had somebody respond to my post saying, everything in your life looks romantic. And I was like, my response to this was absolutely. I designed it that way. Like I really, truly, every time that I sit down to enjoy this beautiful meal that I've created with candles lit and with fresh flowers on the table, like I am so happy. There is so much love. There is so much joy in my heart. So when this person said that, it was such a compliment to me because I was like, yes, absolutely. Everything in my life is romantic. And that's because I create it that way. I create everything around me to be uplifting, to be mood boosting, to be something that is going to pour into me just as much as I pour into it. So that is a perfect example of me romanticizing my life, is creating this food, creating these meals that make me happy, seeing the finished product, sitting down as if I'm at a restaurant because I have this beautiful plate in front of me, and then getting to enjoy it. And yes, I absolutely do sit down and enjoy it by myself, and it's wonderful. You know, for those of you who have listened for a long time, I love spending time with myself. So that to me it's chef's kiss. It's perfect. It's everything. But then I mentioned, I have fresh flowers. So that is a habit that I am fortunate to have the resources to do every week or every other week. I buy fresh flowers and I create bouquets of flowers throughout my house. So every time that I walk into my living room, every time that I walk into my dining room, every time that I walk into my bedroom, every time that I walk into my kitchen, I see these fresh flowers, and they're a symbol of love. They're a symbol of love to myself. They're a symbol of love to my space. And they're elevating the frequency. They're emitting the frequency of love, and even more than that, every single time that I encounter them. So that is another way that I love to just add some romance to my life. Taking myself out, having not even needing a reason to put on something nice, to do my hair, to do my makeup, and go enjoy a nice meal, whether somebody wants to come with me or not. Going to the movies. I don't go to the movies often, but maybe a couple of weeks ago, I took myself to the movies on a random Tuesday. And it was so nice to just sit and be with myself and take care of myself and not feel like I was waiting on somebody else or waiting for the right time to go do something that I wanted to do. The same thing goes for concerts, goes for basketball games. I will be the first person, this surprises everybody when I say it, but I will go to a Lakers game by myself. Let me tell you, it is so much fun. I have the greatest time. And taking the time to do those things has really allowed me to romanticize my life, because there are times when maybe you have friends who don't enjoy doing the same things as you. And maybe your partner, your significant other is unavailable or out of town, or maybe you don't have a partner or a significant other, and you're able to do those things for yourself because you want to do them. There's a different level of love, and there's a different level of experience that you get to have when you're doing that for yourself. Doing things by yourself allows you to create and curate an experience that is 1000% yours. Because if you go along with somebody, whether it be to the movies, to a basketball game, to dinner, whatever it is, that other person that you're with is 10 times out of 10 going to have an opinion. And that opinion could be good, that opinion could be bad. That's not the point. The point is, it's not your opinion. And your experience can be skewed, can be altered because of the experience of somebody else. A few years back, I was in Hawaii, and I decided that I wanted to go skydiving. And so I rented a car and I drove to the top of Oahu, and I went to this skydiving place by myself. The scariest part, let me tell you, the scariest part was sitting in the room right before I had to literally sign my life away. And they're like, just so you know, you can die. And if you die, we're not responsible. Your family, your friends, nobody can come after us if you die. And I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, I have no support. I mean, the people, my friends and family knew that I was going to do this, but it was like, okay, where's the support in this moment? But when I finally got to have the experience, I got to have a experience that was entirely for myself. I got to feel exactly how I felt, not the projection of somebody else's feelings. And I got to have such a beautiful, incredible experience because I wasn't going to wait for anybody to go skydiving. I was going to do it, and I was going to make it happen, and I was going to enjoy that experience. And I think that it truly made the experience so much more special. It absolutely was an experience for myself, and it's definitely, of course, an experience I'll never forget, but I'm just so grateful that I had the courage to get out and do that. And I think that a lot of times that is where we lack, is in having the courage to go sit at a table at a nice restaurant by yourself, to maybe go to the movies by yourself, to buy the basketball tickets or the football tickets or the baseball tickets and go by yourself, the concert tickets. But when you do find that courage, it is another form of self-love, and it's a perfect way to pour love into yourself. And it's also a great way to start to show yourself that you can trust yourself, because you're going to do something and you're going to stick to what you say you're going to do. You're going to follow through with it. And it creates a new relationship with yourself that you maybe never had before. I think it also allows you the time and the space to have conversations with yourself about the experience that you're having. Or maybe if you're sitting at a meal by yourself, of course, you're able to reflect on the experience that you're having, but you're also able to sit down and take some time and some space to reflect on yourself, to reflect on your life, to ask yourself how you're doing, to ask yourself why you're experiencing certain emotions, why you're frustrated, or why you're going through some of the things that you're going through. And creating that space also allows you for that self-love and the self-care and the self-respect. And you really, truly start to romanticize your life. And when you start to do these little things, at least for me, when I started to do these little things, my life started to feel like a movie, because it was giving 1000% main character energy, because I was only going to do the things that I wanted to do. And if somebody didn't want to come with me, I was still going to go. And you best believe, then my life becomes 100%, 1000% about me. My experiences become about me, and you get to embody this main character energy. And I think that that's so important for you to be able to experience in your lifetime. Of course, we want to have people around us. We crave connection. We crave relationships. We crave all of these things. But when you're able to have a steady and solid relationship with yourself and create romance by yourself, imagine how great romance is when you have somebody else who also can create romance by themselves, and they know exactly what a romantic life looks like. And then to be able to come together in a sense of romance, it heightens that experience at least 10 times, probably more. But it's just such an incredible way to live and way to love yourself before you create the capacity to love somebody else. So I talk about all of these extravagant things in being able to romanticize your life, but sometimes it is just the simple things. Sometimes it is creating the time to take care of yourself, whether that's in the morning in your morning routine, or whether that's at night in your nighttime routine, and making everything that you do an act of love. I used this reference with some of my clients the other day because they laugh at me because because I related it to shaving your legs. Okay, so men are not going to relate to this, but maybe it's shaving your face, maybe it's washing your hair, maybe it's whatever it is. But the other day I was shaving my legs, and I had this moment where I realized, as a woman, shaving your legs is such a hassle, right? So you just quickly go through the motions and you do it just to get it done. But the thing is imagine if you were shaving the legs or washing the hair or shaving the face or taking care of the person that you love the most Would you be like rushing through it? Especially, and I think I use shaving your legs because you have a razor blade in your hand. So like you're not going to carelessly be just swiping across somebody's legs. No, you're going to do it with love. You're going to do it with gentleness, with softness, with kindness, with compassion for the other person. So why is it that we don't do that for ourselves? And it can be while you're shaving your legs. It could be while you're doing your skincare, while you're brushing your hair. That's a perfect example. You're just like trying to get it done. But like, why not do it with care and love as if you were doing it for somebody else? And that is a perfect way for you to start to romanticize your life, is taking care of yourself the way that you would take care of somebody else, or the way that you would expect somebody else, or the way that you would like for somebody else to take care of you. And when you're able to slow down and be mindful and love yourself enough not to cut yourself, not to rip your hair out, you're truly embodying that self-love, and it's just another form of romance. I think that taking time to romanticize your life is absolutely a form of expressing gratitude. Because when you're able to take a look around and take in your space, take in your surroundings, take in the life that you've created for yourself, and experience joy, experience happiness, feel that love, feel that excitement, you are taking the time to find romance in your life. You're taking the time to find the beautiful things in life. And so often we are so used to just going through the motions. We're rushing through life. We're getting from point A to point B and going here and going there, that we don't slow down and actually take the time to find that romance in our lives. There are so many ways that you can start to add romance to your life and romanticize your life. And you can do it any way that you please. I think that it can be considered to be extra, or it can be considered to be doing the most. But why would you not do the most for yourself? Why would you not go above and beyond for yourself? It makes no sense. So taking time to go above and beyond for yourself, taking time to celebrate yourself, taking time to really just be proud of exactly where you are and celebrate yourself as if someone else were celebrating you. Imagine, for example, I just celebrated my 10 years of living in LA. And I took myself to the beach. I had a day at the beach. And I took myself to a nice dinner because I deserved that. I didn't need somebody else to celebrate me or somebody else to be proud of me or congratulate me. Not that nobody did. There are definitely people that congratulated me, that celebrated me, that were pouring into me. But why would I not pour into myself? That is a huge accomplishment. And if you're not able to celebrate and take care of yourself and be proud of your own accomplishments, then why do you want or expect somebody else to do it? I think romanticizing your life, like I said, it can look many, many different ways. But when you're able to find the little things, maybe it's the way that you fix your coffee in the morning or fix your matcha in the morning. Like maybe you take your time. Maybe you pour love into that. Maybe you drink your coffee or matcha from a pretty glass, like you were in a cafe, like you were sitting in a coffee shop. Maybe you find ways to add a little bit of romance in your daily routine. Maybe you put eucalyptus in your shower. Maybe you light a candle as you read your book at night. Maybe you light a candle as you do your skincare routine at night, or you put on spa music rather than listening to the TV playing or watching TikTok. Finding the little habits that are going to start to raise your frequency, raise the love that you feel and the love that you have, and allow you to receive love in different ways. Self-love comes in many different forms. And when you find the ways of self-love that work for you, that make you feel good, that raise your vibration and raise your frequency, and allow you to not only pour more love into yourself, but pour more love into whatever you're doing or the people around you or the space around you, then you really are starting to and embodying the true essence of romanticizing your life and having romance in your life. So these are all just little things, little reminders of how to add romance to your life, how to start to romanticize your life, how to create a life that is full of romance, that is full of love, that really you get excited to come home and you get excited to go out, or you get excited to take care of yourself or get dressed up or treat yourself. We all know I am 1000% a supporter of the little treat culture. Like, yes, I just did that. I did all my laundry, and now I absolutely deserve a little treat. Celebrate yourself, even if it's the smallest thing. If you're proud of yourself, if you feel accomplished, take time to celebrate yourself. So this week, my challenge to you is start to add romance to your life. By yourself. Don't include anybody else in this romance. This romance is for you. So find ways to be romantic toward yourself, to treat yourself, to show yourself love and take care of yourself. And then take note of how you're feeling by the end of the week. Take note of how you're feeling by the end of the day when you really have done everything that you can to pour just as much love into yourself as you would to somebody else. I am sending you so much love and light this week, and I hope that you all have such a beautiful week.